Welcome to A Husband's Heart.
I can't wait till I get you on for good looking. Babe, you and I so hot, just like an oven. And I just had to touch it. It's so fine.
Welcome to A Husband's Heart. I'm your host, Terry Stinson, better known as T. Stin, and I'm here with my lovely host today, my gorgeous wife, Ayanna Stinson. How you doing, Ayanna?
Fantastic.
Wow. Well, listen, let's get straight into it. I love when you just have these topics that just pop in your mind. Let's have at it.
Okay, so here's my topic today.
Okay.
Okay, there's a husband and a wife. They've been married for almost 30 years. They're empty nesters. They have 3 children who are grown and gone. One still in college, two on their own. And the husband loves his wife. The wife loves her husband. But they're just not that excited about each other. So because they're empty nesters, the wife she returned to a passion project. She was really into photography before she had children, and now she's returned to photography. And she took a bunch of really beautiful pictures of her pet and some neighbor pets. It was just all dogs. And she was so excited to share this with her husband. So she got the pictures printed and she called her husband. She's like, "Hey, listen, I want you to see these pictures. I think they're so amazing. Look at the pictures." So he looked at the pictures kind of half-heartedly and he flipped through them really quickly. And he said, "Oh, they're fantastic." And she was like, "You didn't even really look at them." And he's like, "I mean, they're all the same picture, aren't they?" And she was like, "I mean, it's all the same dog for like the first half and then all the same dog for the second half. But," and he's like, "It's just dogs, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, but you didn't really take the time to really look at my art." And he was like, "No, they're great. They're great. They're fantastic." And she was just crestfallen. She was hopeful that she would get a warmer response. And he was just like, "Yeah, fantastic." And he thought he gave her a good response.
Yeah.
Because he affirmed her. But she just felt like the response was just kind of like not that sincere and not that invested in her project.
Right.
Okay. So then she goes off into the world doing what she does in the world and maybe meets up with a friend who happens to be a male friend at a coffee shop.
Just happened, huh?
Well, no, she didn't like she just happened to meet the male friend.
I got you.
And she was like maybe they just bumped into each other at Starbucks. And then he was like, "What have you been up to? You know, you're an empty nest." And she was like, "Hey, you know, I've been doing my photography again." And he's like, "Really? What have you done? Have you shot anything?" And she was like, "I mean, I have actually, and I have the pictures on me if you just want to take a quick look." And he looked at the pictures and he was like, "Oh my gosh, these photographs are outstanding. What a great job. Oh my gosh, you captured the sadness in the puppy's eyes. The way you captured the sunset behind the puppy. Oh my gosh, the puppies are so alive. These pictures are speaking to."
Right.
Can you send me like digitally? Can you text me these pictures? They're so amazing. And she was like so filled, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, I can." And so she sends the pictures to her friend. They're just strictly platonic people. Exchange phone numbers again as they're catching up. And then one day he calls her and says, "Hey, I want you to come down to my business." He had a bar. So she goes to the bar to just check out his business. And on the wall, on one of the walls of the bar, was like an exhibition of like 4 or 5 of her pictures of the dogs. And it was just such a moment for her.
Right.
So it's just like I was watching this and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like that's how it happens." Is that like
What you mean how it happens?
No, not how anything bad happens. Like you hope nothing bad happens, but that's just how it happens. Like you don't get, after so much time, you no longer get that excited validation from your partner. Sometimes you get it from people outside of your home who see you differently.
Well, yes, that could be true. I would like a little context. I don't know if she stopped her husband at a time he was in the midst of a project or something?
Well,
She
they're
didn't.
both kinda retired, and they're both empty nesters, and they
Mhm.
both kinda just kinda, do their own thing.
Right.
So he wasn't, like, busy doing anything. Maybe he was getting ready for a golf game or getting ready to watch his favorite football team, or it wasn't anything, like, important that he
Right,
was
right,
doing,
right.
nothing work related. It was just his passion projects he was kind of leisurely going through, and then her passion project, she was, like, excitedly wanting to share with him.
Right, right. Now, no, I get your point. Now let's take everything for face value. Like you said, he didn't validate, or he wasn't invested in her, well, I shouldn't call it a new project. She actually got back into something. And I guess your point is when people are together so long that they lose that fizzle of interest of their partner with the things that they're interested in, may possibly. Now, but getting back to the other gentleman, I mean, put a little context to that. Like you said, a friend and exchange numbers. So he wasn't friends with I think he wasn't
They
friends with the husband.
no, I think they were the woman and him were just friends that just bumped into each other,
No, no, no.
and
What?
no, I don't think the husband knew him. Like, they
Right.
were
So maybe an old friend
old
from when
friends.
she was younger. Or,
Maybe.
right. So, okay. Then yeah, he's going to be invested because he seemed like he was, based on your story, he was interested in her.
No, no, no. I don't think he was interested in her in a romantic way. I think he was just interested in her as she's an interesting human being. I mean, they just bumped
Like,
into each other at a coffee shop, so it's not
yeah,
like
but
suddenly hearts were flying. He was just like, "Hey, how are you?" And when he said, "How are you?"
hmm,
he was really interested in hearing how she was. And then when he said, "What have you been up
right,
to?" and she was sharing, her excitement was so infectious that he got excited for her, and he was like, "Tell me more, show
right,
me
right.
more." And then he really took the time to really experience what she wanted to share with him.
Well, I'm speaking from a man's point of view. I think he was interested in her because he took it to the step where he just bumped back into her and he put her pictures on. What's the likelihood that he needed pictures on his wall?
Well, what if he just thought the pictures were just that fantastic?
Well, I wouldn't put somebody who I didn't have any interest in. I'm not putting their picture on the
He
wall.
didn't have a romantic interest in her. He just had a human interest in her.
But listen, I'm not trying to derail or get away. But when you like putting that in, most men going to look at that like the guy has some type of interest in her because he did a lot. He vested all the interest in her pictures so much. Oh, can I get the pic? Like that's just not normal behavior. If I just ran into someone, the chances of me not only it's one thing to just acknowledge what someone does and say this is great, but then send me pictures. Not only send me the pictures, I'm going to frame the pictures. I'm assuming he framed them
Mhm.
and put it on my business wall. That story doesn't jive up that the gentleman was not interested in the lady, but let's go ahead and put that to the side
Mhm.
because your main focus is probably couples who have been together so long
Yeah.
lose that spark, lose
So,
that.
I'm not a photographer and I don't have pictures. I might have a scenario that happens to me, and I share the scenario with you,
Mm,
and it lands flat.
right,
And then
right.
I might share the exact same scenario with 2 other friends, and they're just enthralled with what I'm sharing with them, and they're completely invested in me telling the story, and they're asking questions to
Hmm.
demonstrate to me that they're interested in what I'm saying.
Sound like you're squilling on yourself. So,
No, I'm just saying, like,
well,
identified with that
I can tell
situation.
you what, well, I get your point. That's why I want to just deal with the couples, how
Mhm,
we can take each other for granted or we lose that luster, right?
mhm,
But use an example of, because usually another human that's that excited is probably the opposite sex. Your girlfriend, females would not be that invested, or they won't be. They would say, "Hey, that's good, girl. That's nice," but they're not going all the way. Like guys only make moves like that if they have interest. Men don't operate just like you. Gotta have like for me to be that invested in a woman to that degree. I'm thinking past just that. Men don't, we're very simple creatures, but let's just stick to your point. What is your question for me about that scenario or just what my thoughts are on that
well,
scenario?
I really want you to take the possibility of a
Mm-hmm.
brewing romance completely out of your mind.
I got you.
I really want you to see it as just a woman sharing with another human being a passion project and her enthusiasm about it.
Right,
And I want you to take away like it's kind of important that your partner is your biggest cheerleader, is the most excited about what you have to share.
right,
And it's kind of disheartening when you share something with great enthusiasm and it falls flat
right,
with your spouse. But when you share it with someone else and they're like, you're just so amazing.
right, right. No, I get you. No matter what the project or the activity is, you want your mate to be. You want that to
Mhm.
happen. That's why it's so important that constantly not only work on the relationship, find out what the interests and hobbies of both parties. Help people. That's why I tell young people, find out not only your goals, your interests, and get with and that y'all two get together and say, yo, what is it that you want? What is it that your dreams? How can I help you? Because as you journey through life, what happens is everyone's going they're together, but they're apart. They're together, but either partner could say, I'm interested in just what I am. I have my agenda, my goals, and it doesn't come together to make sure both of them are, hey, I'm supporting your goals. What are your thoughts? What are your dreams? How can I help you? And then what happens as you go through this life of journey, you got kids, you got a lot of things that occupy your time, but you never really got into what that other person really wanted. And then all of a sudden now that person get into an activity or interest, and then they expect the other partner to be interested. It just doesn't jive in a sense.
Well, I mean, okay, so in this scenario I'm telling you about, the other gentleman was not a photographer. He wasn't into photography.
Right, right.
He wasn't particularly interested in dogs.
Yeah, it sounds like he was interested in her.
No, he was just interested in her and hearing
Mm-hmm.
what she was wanting to share. And he just gave a concentrated amount of attention to her sharing. He was like he was actively listening. He was actively engaged, where her spouse was like, just kind of like, yeah, 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 about the pictures
Mm-hmm. Well,
and on to the
I think you
next.
should focus on I wouldn't by you keep putting the mail, that scenario doesn't jive up because he invited her down too. You see what I'm saying? Now you done took it from the actual thing you want to focus on. The more you explain the scenario, it pulls away from justifying it. Like, what guy okay, does he know she's married?
Yes.
Then he invites her. He doesn't ask about the husband. He don't ask both of them to come down. He asks her to come down to his business, his spa. I mean, I'm sorry. The spa.
Take that out. Yeah. Oh,
Spa
yeah.
City, right? So, I mean, to see what he did to show her how impressed, look what I did for you. Look at your pictures on my wall. Why did he even call her down there for that?
Why didn't her husband say, "Oh my goodness, these
Yeah.
pictures are incredible. I'm gonna blow them up and I'm gonna put them up
Yeah.
in our cottage. I'm
Right.
gonna put them up on our wall."
Right.
Why didn't he do that?
Exactly. Now we can talk about that, but using that guy in that scenario is because I'm gonna look at it. He has an agenda.
Okay, so shouldn't the husband have an agenda?
Yeah, yeah, we are. And back to what I was saying,
Mhm.
the course of life, you can't wait to the end. Like it has to be. Relationships have to be constantly fed and paid attention
So
to.
what would you advise this husband at this point that this has happened?
I
Has
would.
he dropped the ball?
Yeah, he
Mhm.
did. He did. I would advise him say, "Hey, God, if I was looking down, say when your wife presents something to you, say, hey, babe, right now, mate." Because she wants that undivided attention, if you can't give her that at the moment, say, babe, I know you got something for me. Give me a moment and wrap up whatever he's doing and then go to her and say, hey, babe, please share with me what you were about to, tell me or share with me. And if he knows she's been doing photography, he's like, hey, I know you probably got some pictures. Show me what you wanted to show me. I want to give you my undivided attention. That's what I would advise him. Say, listen, your partner, once your wife get engaged in any activity, some new thing, be aware, knowing that she's going to want, she's going to want your validation. She's going to want your interest in what she's interested in doing. Yeah. And that's for all of us. Like, you
Mhm.
have to be intentional, and you don't have to feel exactly what the person who's involved in that activity feel, but you wanna be intentional with your interests. You're interested enough because your partner is doing it. You know what I mean? That's what I would advise him. You have to recognize that your relationships are always, I shouldn't say being attacked, but tested, you know? So
Mhm.
as a man and as a woman, you gotta also protect it, not because you're scared but you wanna protect it because you wanna protect her heart, your heart. You wanna protect her interests, his interests, right? And and we talked about this in some of other, when I talked to other gentlemen on the podcast, is you have to be intentional. You can't wait for it. You have to be intentional with activities. Hey, let me make sure I spend this time. Almost plan things. I mean, that's what I would say to that guy myself. Like, yeah, I mean, we all fall short. But I will also warn, like in that particular case, of feeling like, yo, listen, you guys, a woman will have to be careful too when someone does show you the same feeling that person that you want from your husband, but you see some outside person. Once it's outside, not at all.
So she's just supposed to say, "I'm just gonna cut off this good feeling right now." Like, it's not a romantic feeling, but just this validation, that's just
Yeah,
filling me
well,
up,
she
making me
should
feel
she should have never came down to the bar. I mean, she
okay,
should have stopped right, just sent the picture. And, what are you going to a bar for?
okay.
What's going on? Like
Like,
that.
so she shouldn't have gone to the bar.
Yeah, but I don't wanna listen, your point is well taken, and when I think about that, I think about things that, you do, I do,
Mhm,
or really you do to make sure I'm telling, because I know it's some things you like, that you really like, and I know I'm a busy person too, but I have to understand that if she likes it, I have to be intentional with carving out time or making sure when she brings me something, if I can't give it that attention, but I address it in a loving way where
mm,
she understands I can't give you probably what you need right now, but I'm interested in what you had to present. So
mhm,
there's ways, to address things, right? Time. Well, it's like time
mhm.
management, right?
I think it really boils down to the way you got her, the way you got him, that you've gotta really kind of make sure that you continue to behave in those ways so that you can keep him, keep her,
Yeah.
right? And not take each other for granted. And it's easy to take each other for granted. Like, you're always there. I'm always here. So I take it for granted that you're gonna be here.
Yeah.
But, just to, like, show enthusiasm, like, kind of mirror the energy that your partner is showing. They're coming to you with a lot of excitement about something that they've accomplished or something that they're passionate about, and try and be empathetic
Not
to
try to
that.
be there. I
Yeah.
mean, and we don't have to take it. It's even the simpler things, just like when a good example for us is when you talk to the kids way more than I do.
Right, because they don't live in our house.
Right.
You
So,
speak
but
to
you
our
have to
kids.
remind me to respond to like
Mhm.
texts and things
Right.
like that. And I go, even as busy as I am, when you tell me these things, I have to step back, take a breath and think like, wow, she's telling me not only for a reason, but she's making me a better father. Like, hey, this is important. Respond back to the kids. Whether it really makes a big difference, but it's the fact that you just make me more conscious and intentional with my behavior, with my
Mhm.
thoughts. So I thank you for that, because even with letters, sometimes, like when we do the cards, you be like, you leave a card on. And sometimes I'm like, yo, just write the stuff. Everything doesn't need you, both of us to say anything,
Mhm.
but it makes me better, and it makes me really kind of dig some deep from the heart, and something
Mhm.
that's, some sincere.
Right.
So I thank you for that, because when time passes, if I'm not here on this earth anymore, I mean, when that happens, the kids actually got some real writing, some real thoughts,
Mhm.
and that's all because of you uh, pulling the best out of me.
Mm.
Making me better. I'm telling you now, thank you. I mean, I don't always say that and show it, but thank you. And it does sometimes irritate me and frustrates me, but
Mhm.
with the irritation, I always look back and say, she's not telling you anything bad, though. She's not asking you to do anything. These are good things. The timing might not be the best for me, but
Right.
they still are good things.
Mm.
So that's what sometimes I self-talk myself when you ask of me of things. It's not that what you asked me is a bad thing. It's just the timing, right, for
Mhm.
me. So no, just but that's life, babe. I mean, we got 25 plus years in the game of marriage, what, 27, 28 or overall of just being together. And we've been figuring this thing out. We've been doing a
Yeah.
pretty good job. And we've had that and continue. I mean, you're always gonna have obstacles. Obstacles don't mean necessarily it's like your relationship is bad. It's just
Mhm.
you have to maneuver through those things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, people give up. And it's just I'm just glad we're not neither one of us have ever given up. Because that's the easy way out too.
Right.
And I guess people give it because frustration, anger, bitterness.
Mm.
People don't like to figure things out. It's easier to just say, and they start over, and then they start over, and then they start over, and they
And then they realize
start over.
no matter where they go, there they are,
Exactly.
and then they might be the problem.
That was a good one, though, Ayanna. I like that. You made me think about you. You made me
Mhm.
think about, anything you bring to me for me to take a second look, to take a breath, step back, give you the attention that you deserve. And I think that's probably why you brought that up.
No, I didn't bring it up, like, to
Not just for me, I
neg on you. I
understand.
brought it up because when I saw it, I was like, "Wow, it's real." It was a
Mhm,
real scenario,
mhm.
very I could identify with it, and I could see how like, it's easy to take people for granted, very easy.
But we don't think we take them for granted. We just think of that's not as important or I'm doing something way more important at that
Mhm.
time. You don't take that. You really just don't. You're not being considerate. You're not being nice.
Yeah.
It's not so much you take them for, yeah, but overall you still take them for granted too because like when you say when you're dating someone, you don't take them for granted because you're trying to get them because you don't have them, right? So you're just so intentional and you pay attention and you're giving your best almost at all times, right? Did you get
Right.
home safe?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just checking on
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
You are you just when you got you within. Oh, I hear her, she good. You didn't make sure the light was on, knowing that she's coming home, like
Right.
like thinking ahead of time, right?
Mhm.
So I go through that too. We got, like I said, all the years we have, I still have to work on me. Like when you out, I go, yo, let me go ahead and turn the lights on now.
Mhm.
I don't want to wait till the last minute. I'd rather pay a few more cents of electric to know that those lights are on for you and Anaya when
Mhm.
y'all out there driving and coming home.
As we continue
Mm-hmm.
in our marriage, we should be really consciously trying to ensure that I mean, not like we're near the end or anything, but that our last memories of each other are gonna be really positive and really
You make a
enriched,
good
yeah.
point.
Because the beginning was really loving and wonderful and rich, so we just gotta make sure
Mm-hmm.
that the ending is just as sweet.
And we have such a great opportunity to focus on you and I now because we're empty
Mhm.
nesters. So we should take advantage of that
Yeah.
that opportunity. Yeah. That was a good, I like that. I love when you just come off. You always come with some good ones, Ayana. I must give it to you.
Well, good.
Well, good, good, good.
Well, thank you for watching A Husband's Heart. Remember, this is your guy, T. Stin.
That's right. That's right.
Talk to him.
I'll listen. Your boy T. Stin. Thanks for tuning in to A Husband's Heart. See you the next time. Bye bye.